Ashley, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Welcome back to Manchester.
Thank you.
How's the European adventure been so far?
It's been really fun.
Yeah.
We started out in places we've never gotten to visit before. So we got to go to Switzerland and we got to go to Germany. And then, of course, it's almost like coming home now by the time we get to London and Manchester because I've been here so many times.
Yeah, well, just reflecting on C2C early this year, we were thinking about it earlier, and the Girl Going Nowhere performance at the O2 will go down in C2C history.
It goes down in our history book too.
Tell us a little bit about your experience of that weekend.
It was, I told the guys, because the band, hadn't gotten to come over with me the first two times. And I told them about the fans, and I told them that no matter what I told them, they weren't going to be prepared, which is kind of what I was told too, my very first C2C. And the energy level, the way it raises when you've got fans that are this incredible. Yeah. And so you could just see it on their faces. Their eyes were getting big, and they were smiling more, and they were jumping more, and I was like, I tried to tell you. Yeah, it was a really special time.
Easily one of the top 3 C2C performances.
Thank you.
Easily.
Thank you.
And you got a new single out.
New single.
One Night Standards.
Yes.
It's just a genius title.
Thank you. It was an accident, so that's. I'm glad.
Where did that come from?
We were actually writing a song about an airport hotel, thinking it was going to be called Airport Hotel, and so I wrote it with Nicolette Hayford. We got to kind of a place where we didn't love what we did, we didn't hate what we did. We should put it away, and just kind of revisit it later. And the next time we got together was with Shane McAnally. So we showed him what we had gotten done, and we all three just kind of stuck our heads together and started pulling parts out and putting different parts in. And I said, well, the thing about hotels is there's only one nightstand in them for a reason. They were one night standers. And Shane said, did you say standards? I said, no, I didn't. I said standards. He goes, yes, you did. Yes, you did. I think we might have fixed the song here. So we took that avenue and chased it, and it wound up being the right choice.
What is it about Shane why has he got this kind of touch of magic that everybody else doesn't seem to have? Why is he, you've been in a room.
He's a brilliant songwriter, and there are lots of brilliant songwriters in Nashville. Yeah. Shane's ability that I think is so special is he's just kind of an amplifier. So whatever it is that you do, he can identify it really quickly and just kind of make it bigger and brighter. Yeah. And so you might say a line that goes like this, and he tweaks one little teeny tiny thing, and now the line is great instead of good. Yeah. That's his power.
Is he just as hilarious in real life as he's on his Instagram page?
Absolutely, he is. Absolutely.
Absolutely love Shane. But it's going to be on the new album that you're working on at the moment. How far down the line are you with that project? Is it pretty much ready to go now?
Pretty much ready to go. Yeah, we have to wait until 2020 to release it. So we're doing, mixing changes and things like that. Try to get the track list together. We do several different versions of it. We'll do it in one order, and we listen to it, live with it for a couple days. Yeah. Put them in another order, live with it for a couple days, just to kind of see what the story is, depending on which songs are in which placement. Yeah,
and you've been working with Jay Joyce again, haven't you?
Yes.
So tell us what it's like to work with Jay and why you kind of stuck with him for this album.
To be back with Jay, we were really excited to be back with Jay, and we had 2 different players in the band that we did on the first record. So very excited to see what Jay pulls out of the lead guitar player, Matt Helmkamp. Very excited to see what he pulls out of Christian Sancho on the bass, and which can be really frustrating because these guys are really good at what they do. Jay's really good at what he does. Yeah. And if you'll trust him and let him make you angry for just a minute, your anger response will manifest out of your hands. Genius. And it's so genius. And it's like watching, the first record was like watching a mad scientist turn all the knobs and do all the things and walk around with ideas. This time it was more like watching a surgeon. Yeah. That you're in such great hands, and you can just really trust it. And he played with us on this record. Oh, wow. Sitting right next to me playing keys, and that's not nerve-wracking at all.
That's amazing. And how did you kind of approach the new album in comparison to the last one? Because obviously the pressure's on now. You're so successful and Grammy nominated. And
the pressure was definitely on. So we turned it off. Yeah. Because we were afraid that if we really paid attention to this record's got to be amazing. All records have to be amazing. Yeah. You do get nervous making your second one, but we really took the pressure off. We rehearsed the way we would always rehearse in a non-fancy, it's basically a glorified garage with a couch or 2 in it. We rehearsed every song that we wanted to put on the record, slowly started to dwindle them down. We felt like we had a really good collection. Jay would come in a couple times a day and listen to us. And then by the time we got to the studio, we had a pretty good idea of where we thought we were going to go. And it even changed from there. That's one of the most fun things about making an album. I had no idea before I made a record that when you see it going this way, at some point it's just going to go poof, and just take some other direction. Which is, I love adventure.
Yeah, well, last time I spoke to you, I think you said you got kind of 40 or 50 songs that you were kind of whittling down to.
Yeah, we wound up, I think we wound up with somewhere in the 60s that we needed to dwindle down.
Yeah, so what was the kind of criteria and what what made certain songs make the list and others?
When I find songs that they're similar in they're either their feel or their message, then we kind of celebrity death match them, and we put them together and we play both songs. Whichever one is slightly stronger or fits the rest of the record a little bit better will show itself. And I was worried I would be, like, oh, I really like that song, and I was like, no, get him. Like, let's really vet these songs out and make sure they belong. Yeah. And if not on this record, then they'll be in the lineup for the next record. Yeah.
Is Rattlesnake Preacher going to be on there?
Yeah.
Because I know that's a big kind of fan favourite of yours. I mean, you've been doing it live for a while, haven't you?
We cut Rattlesnake, and when we got to the final cut, it didn't make it to the record.
Oh, wow.
So, and I was really bummed because I sort of conceptualized the whole record centering around this song, and it didn't. The message is, like I said, it took a turn. The best thing is we still play it live every night.
That's why I assumed it would be on there, because I know you've been doing it for such a long time.
Me too, and now it's almost makes the song more special because you can only hear it live.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. Well, you've been working on a track with Miranda Lambert as well, and a whole host of amazing girls fooled around and fell in love. Tell us about that one, because obviously it's a real girl power kind of anthem, isn't it?
What a cool song to choose for a bunch of girls to sing.
Yeah, of course.
And I heard we were going to cut something, and we were going to cut it with Jay Joyce. And so it's Miranda Lambert, me, Tennille Towns, Kaylee Hammock, Elle King, and Maren Morris. Yeah. And that's a mixed can of nuts. And everybody has their strengths. And Miranda really did a good job with Jay to choosing what lines we wanted to sing. And each of us sang a big portion of the song. That way we can go through and pick our favorite parts and figure out who represented that line best. Yeah. Kaylee Hammock sings her behind off. She's
awesome.
Of course, we know Elle King does too, but Kaylee I hadn't got to hear much of her stuff. And when she does that line, I just looked. Our microphones were opposite each other, sort of like you and I are, maybe a little closer. And she sang it, and I just went, yeah.
That's mind-blowing.
Totally mind-blowing. And there's no drama surrounding the fact that 6 girls were going to do the song. We didn't need a parade or a holiday. Miranda wanted to do it with a cast of characters that she chose to tour with, and I really was proud to be part of the project.
It came out so well. And it's not been a bad year for collaborations for you, to be fair, because the Brooks and Dunn collaboration has been so huge for you, kind of personally and professionally, hasn't it? I saw you at CMA Fest, and you did it at the stadium with them, which was
so nervous.
Awesome. So tell us what it's been like to cut a song with Brooks and Dunn and how it's affected you.
I was nervous before I ever got to the studio, but when I got there, Kix and Ronnie were there in their ball caps, and their t-shirts. It was totally normal. They made it impossible to be nervous. And I was really proud of the work we did on it. And, cutting it live, everybody's there together. It's not pieced together, by different studios. And then finding out that we were going to do it at CMA Fest, I was like, oh my, I'm going to play in a stadium with Brooks and Dunn, and the backing band is Brothers Osborne. So just in case you've never had trial by fire, like you did great in the studio and had a great time, now do it in front of like 56,000 people when you've never played on a stage that size. Sung live with Brooks and Dunn, at a show format, and then the band being Brothers Osborne. You just like, well, hope I don't get it wrong, because John and TJ gave me help for it. It was really, really cool.
It was a huge highlight for, I think, most people. It
definitely was for me. And if you see you've seen the footage, I just kind of look up, because there's just so many people everywhere I looked.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And I think it was okay to be a little bewildered the first time. You only get to do the first time once.
Of course. And you're going on tour with Luke again soon, aren't you?
Yeah, good old
You're
Luke.
in the UK with Luke. That's when we saw you in Birmingham. What's it like to be on the road with Luke? Because he comes across as such a joker.
He is. And they're just, the whole crew, the band, the crew, everybody's just really, really nice, takes really good care of us. You might see them throwing a ball in the parking lot. Yeah. And so actually my band and I are trying to figure out which sport we want to challenge them to. I say soccer, I say football. But I know Luke is a big rugby fan, and we've got a pretty good wiffle ball team on our hands in my band. So
you're a good football player, actually.
I have learned more about soccer in the last 2 years than I had ever learned about any sport, and it's my favorite.
Wow. You're in the right place with football right
Absolutely.
Here. Manchester City and Man
once
United.
I got the ball to go where I wanted it to and figured out how to do that, I was like, this is awesome. Now, I can't juggle more than 6 times. I can't do anything fancy, but I can at least make it go in a direction, which is more than I can say for me throwing an American football. Well,
if you get the McBryde team versus the Combs team, we want to see that on social media.
Absolutely.
Nice soccer game right there.
We're already planning our pranks for that tour, too.
Look forward to seeing all about that. But just finally, congrats on the CMA nomination.
Thank you.
I was going to ask, how does it feel being a new artist after 12 years in Nashville? Because to me, and I think to most people, you're not a new artist.
No,
So.
I'm not new to anybody except radio over there. And so if you think about new artists as how many singles have you had on the radio?
Yeah.
When the answer is 2, then you can, and I can handle the term new artist. The term I have a hard time stomaching is baby act. Because I'm not a baby act. I'm not a baby anything. I might be wee, but I'm not a baby. And so as long as, new artist I can handle, as long as no one's patting me on the head going, new artist. I'm here to earn my keep. And that's a tough category to be in because I love everybody in the category.
Yeah.
So.
It's going to be an awesome show this year because they've gone really heavy on the female side of things, haven't they, with Reba and Dolly.
With Reba and Dolly, are you kidding me?
Awesome.
And Carrie Underwood, all 3 hosting. That's 3 different cross sections of the best country music has ever had to offer. So I'm glad I don't have to stand on stage with Reba and Dolly. We'll let Carrie Underwood do that.
Well, we're rooting for you, Ashley. Best of luck with it. And
Thank you.
we look forward to hearing the album whenever it comes out. If you got an idea of when it's going to.
All they'll let me say is early 2020, but I promise you won't have to wait too long.
Okay, we look forward to that, and we're looking forward to seeing the show tonight, Ashley. Thank you for doing this.
Of course, it's good to be back.